Pesticides and Herbicides by Amir. A pesticide is a chemical used to prevent, destroy, or repel pests. Pests can be insects, mice, and other animals, weeds, fungi, or microorganisms such as bacteria and viruses. Some examples of pests are termites causing damage to our homes, dandelions in the lawn, and fleas in our dogs and cats. Pesticides are also used to kill organisms that can cause disease. Most pesticides contain chemicals that can be harmful to people, animals, or the environment. For this reason, the Office of Pesticides Program of the Environmental Protection Agency regulates pesticides in the United States to protect public health and the environment. There are many types of pesticides, but only focused on three main ones: fungicides, herbicides, and insecticides. Fungicides control, destroy, make harmless, or regulate the effect of fungus. Examples include chemicals used to treat gray mold on grapevines and fruit trees, or downy mildew on cucumbers. Herbicides, however, destroy, suppress, or prevent the spread of weed or other unwanted vegetation. For examples, the herbicide glyphosate is used to control a range of weeds in home gardens, bushland, or agricultural situations. Insecticides destroy, suppress, stupefy, inhibit the feeding of or preventing infestations of attacks by an insect. Insecticides are used to control a wide variety of insect pests, including thrips, aphids, moths, fruit flies, and locusts. In NSW, pesticides include products such as flea powders and liquids used externally on animals. Some pesticides are non-lethal to the target pest. These include repellents or attractants such as personal insect repellents, sterilizing agents which interfere with the reproductive ability of a pest, some defoliants that cause leaf drop without killing the plant, and some pesticide products that boost the action of another pesticide without being particularly toxic themselves. Many pesticides are contact pesticides. This means to be effective, they must be absorbed through the external body of the surface or the exposed plant tissue. One of the first pesticides ever used was sulfur, used by the Chinese in 1000 BC to control bacteria and mold. Sulfur is still widely used today. For example, it is used in fungicides to control diseases on both agricultural and ornamental plants, and in the wine industry. Sulfur is used to control unwanted bacterial growth in empty wine barrels and is commonly added to wine to kill unwanted yeast. The Chinese also pioneered the use of arsenic-containing compounds to control insects. Arsenic has a long history of use both as an insecticide and herbicide, and also as in medicine. Arsenic trioxide was used as a weed killer in the late 1800s, and lead arsenate containing both lead and arsenic was used as an insecticide, particularly in orchards prior to the development of synthetic pesticides following World War II. Some of the first concerns about pesticides safety were raised over lead arsenate residue on fruit and in orchards, and to this day some orchard soils remain contaminated with lead and arsenic. Arsenic in the form of chromated copper arsenate is used as a wood preservative to keep wood in contact with soil or moisture from rotting. Plants have provided several other important non-synthetic pesticides. In the late 1600s, nicotine, an extract from tobacco leaves, was recognized as a potent insecticide and is now limited use as a pesticide. Another group of non-synthetic insecticides is pyrethrum, which are harvested and refined from chrysanthemums. The strychnine tree Nux vomica contains strychnine used to kill rodents. Finally, rotenone as insecticide and fish poison is extracted from the root of Daris elliptica, a climbing plant from Southeast Asia. Plant extracts are useful for controlling pests, but they are often difficult to purify and produce in large quantities. Consequently, the modern use of plant-based pesticides did not significantly increase until advanced. Synthetic chemistry advanced rapidly in the 1930s, and by the early 40s, a range of new pesticides had been developed, including organochlorine and insecticides like DDT. In 1937, the first organophosphate compounds were synthesized by a group of German chemists, which were led by Swiss chemist Paul Mueller. These are very potent compounds kept secret during World War II and were originally developed as a potential chemical warfare agents. After the war, these organophosphate compounds were repurposed as insecticides, and many organophosphate insecticides continue to be used today. Herbicides were developed after World War II in order to increase food production and create possible warfare agents. In 1946, the first commercially available chlorine-based herbicides were marketed to kill broadleaf plants. This class of compounds includes 2,4-D-2,4-dichlorophenolic acid and 2,4,5-T-2,4,5-trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, synthetic auxins that disrupt plant growth. These herbicides have been extensively utilized in agriculture and to clear roadsides and rights of way. 2,4,5-T was used extensively during the Vietnam War to defoliate jungle plants. During the manufacturing process, 2,4,5-T was often contaminated with the persistent and very toxic dioxin, TCDD, tetrachloride-benzodioxin. Dioxins, like other chlorinated compounds, including DDT, bioaccumulate in body fat and persist in the environment for many years. Based on chemical classification, pesticides are classified into four main groups, namely organochlorines, organophosphates, carbamates, pyrethrin, and pyrethroids. Organochlorines pesticides are organic compounds with 5 or more chlorine atoms. Organochlorines were the first synthetic organic pesticides to be used in agriculture and in public health. Most of them were widely used as insecticides for the control of a wide range of insects, and they have long-term residual effect in the environment since they are resistant to most chemical and microbial degradations. Organochlorine insecticides act as a nervous system disruptors, leading to convulsions and paralysis of the insect and its eventual death. Some of the commonly used representative examples of organochlorine pesticides are DDT, linden, endosulfan,